Hello everyone and welcome to a new video of discussion of papers and some language tips. Today I'm gonna tell you what are the questions that you have to expect in the discussion of papers. Normally we start the discussion by asking some questions. Number one, we have to check the word count. So make sure that you stick to the word count given to you. We have asked you to write up to 1500 words. You can exceed that up to 1700. That's fine for us, but don't write below the word count. Number two, we're gonna ask you what is the argumentation about. So you have to mention the topic and also you have to tell me the thesis statement. And sometimes we'll asking you which side are you supporting and why you're supporting this. So you have to show us that you're convinced of your topic and you know exactly what you're talking about. Do not hesitate, do not stutter, try to speak confidently and speak in English from the first minute. And then we're gonna go through the paper quickly and then mention, I'm asking you to mention one main counterpoint in your essay. So you have to explain that simply and then you have to tell me how did you refute it. I want to see that you have varied your refutation. Sometimes you're writing facts, sometimes you're writing statistics, examples, and so on. I want to see that it's relevant, it's varied, and it's rich. Also, I'm going to ask you about one of your PowerPoints, or maybe two, it depends. So you have to be prepared. Again, I'm going to ask you how did you support it. I want to see that your support is full of varied evidences like examples, statistics, experts' opinions, research findings, and so on. And then the last question, I'm gonna ask you, no, I mean the question before the last, I'm gonna ask you what is the outcome of your research. You have to explain that. And normally this is the last part of your assignment, which is the conclusion, where you have to summarize the main refutation and the main support, and also you have to recommend something or suggest or call for action. The most important part here for us is to avoid plagiarism and to make sure that you have used summarizing, paraphrasing, and quotation correctly, and your percentage of plagiarism is below 5%. So we're gonna focus a lot in the in-text citation and the full citation. Let me show you an example of a paper that we are correcting. Imagine that this is a paper of one of the students and we're correcting this. So as you can see, the first thing is that the format is not well done. The title of the paper doesn't show anything about the argumentation. Normally we have to put the debatable question. And again, the format is not correct at all. All the lines are not aligned. You have to justify them. There is no double spacing. There is no initial indentation in the paragraphs. So I'm gonna comment on this. The second thing, if this is the introduction, so I'm gonna tell the student that there's no in-text citation here. You're supposed to know the components of a good introduction, and of course a conclusion and paragraphs and so on. And in order to make sure that you have included everything in your paper, I want you to go through the essay components checklist. Remember that one that we have discussed in class? It's a checklist that shows you all the components of a good introduction, counter argument, pro, conclusion, and so on. So this is a checklist that will help you to tick things as you go by. So for instance here, we have indicated that background information is important. If I go back again to the student's paper, I can see that there are some background information without telling exactly who said it. There's no in-text citation to show that the student has given credit to the author. And then I'm gonna focus on your thesis statement and then ask you many questions about it and make sure that you have included 2 counterpoints and 3 pros. And they have all to be varied and no overlapping things. Then if we go down a bit, I can find this is a counter argument, and then I will ask the student where is the refutation, and then I'm gonna focus on this in-text citation. As you can see, Sarah actually can't be a last name of an author. Maybe this is the first name and the student has used this wrongly. So by asking the student about this, I will tell him to go back to the reference list and show me where is Sarah 2013 in the reference list. If the student took his paper and started to search for the full citation, as you can see here, the references, so Sarah actually is listed, but the first name of the author, not the last name. And as you can see also that the reference list, the format of the reference list is not following the APA style at all. In order to make sure that your reference list is good one, you have to check the APA manual, and it's available on the internet. It's available also on the e-learning and the Facebook group. If we go up, I will ask the student to locate this person for me at the end. So if he failed to do this, again he will get a low mark in the citation or the reference part. So as you can see that the student is cramming information, and sometimes he is over quoting from the same source, as you can see. So this is called malpractice, which is very rejected or not accepted in academic research. At the end, I'm going to ask the student to summarize the main points for me and also to tell me the final recommendation. Okay, as you can see that the reference list is not following the APA style. So as you can see, you find that first the references are not alphabetically ordered. Gary comes at the beginning, while Arshad comes in the middle, and Chow at the end, which is totally wrong. Sometimes the student is using Sarah, which is the first name of the author, as the last name. This is of course not right in the reference list. The reference list is not in a separate paper or a separate sheet, which is again a mistake. References or the word references should be centered and without any full stops. The journal's name or the title's name of the article should be italicized. As you can see, there is nothing here to show this one. The indentation, as we said and explained before, the first line of the source or the entry shouldn't be indented. However, the second and subsequent lines are indented. The year of publication is not between brackets, and there is no spaces between the initial of the first name and the year of publication. This is another mistake. The DOI or the URL is absent from the reference list. Again, this is a mistake. And if I'm supposed to give this student a mark, there is no abstract, so he's gonna lose marks in the abstract for not including the abstract. There is no right organization of the paper. Again, he's gonna lose marks for this, and also he's gonna lose for the in-text citation and full citation, and maybe he will lose some points for the innovation. Again, he will lose some marks in the language or in the content if he did any mistakes. Let's see another paper. Actually, this is a very good one, but I have made some grammar mistakes and errors here so that I show you exactly how we correct it. Like, for instance, he says education now the path for or to a better life and so on. Actually, there is no verb here, so we have to include the verb is. A better life, and it open. Actually, it opens the mind to the world around. As you can see, this is a very good statement. However, there are some grammar mistakes. One of the methods of education now is year-round education. According to Peltier, as you can see, there is a comma, an extra comma here. You should delete this and make a space, and then year of publication, then a space, then continue writing. If I ask this student to locate Peltier for me in the reference list, so he should answer by saying that it is a double citation. As you can see, it is mentioned in someone else's article by Mitchell and Hofer. Mitchell Hofer, actually it's a double or a compound name. So if you have such a case, like where you cite from the primary source, or you've heard about Peltier in Mitchell's source, you have to mention as cited in, because this is the source that you have read and you have consulted and you have heard about Peltier in Mitchell's source. If I ask the student to locate this in the reference list, he should go to the reference list and tell me, here is the one. So the first or the primary source, which is Peltier in this case, is not included in the reference list. Only the secondary source that I have consulted, which is Mitchell. This is a very good reference list, as you can see. The first line is not indented, however the second and subsequent lines are. Last name of the author, all arranged in alphabetical order. You have the initials of the first names and comma the second author's name, and then ampersand, and then the last name of the author, and then year of publication. As you can see, we have here the article's name. We don't have a journal's name. If we have the journal's name, so the journal's name will be italicized. However, the article's name will be straight and not italicized. But if I have only the article's name, this one should be italicized. Also, all the publication information is out there. However, maybe the DOI or the URL are not indicated. Maybe this is a paper article or something. It's not retrieved from online. As you can see again, this is a very good citation. The volume, the issue number, and the page numbers are included. Maybe the student has missed to put the DOI or the URL. If we go back to the top, I will ask the student about the thesis statement. I have marked this here for you to see. So he should not of course memorize it, but tell me all the points that he indicated in his research. I want to see that you have done this research yourself and you are aware of every single point that is written. This is an indication that you have done a good job and this is your original work. Thank you so much for this video. I hope you have benefited from this, and wait for another video about fallacies. Thank you and goodbye.